Good morning, friends. Welcome to online study in Sri Digambar Institute of Technology, Bhandaraj Mode, Dosa. This is JP Yadav from Electrical Departments. Today's my topic is waveguides. In previous sections, we discussed about waveguides and transmission lines. What is the waveguides? A waveguide is an electromagnetic field line used in microwave communications, broadcasting, and radar installations. A waveguide consists of a rectangular or cylindrical metal tube or pipe. The electromagnetic field propagates lengthwise. Waveguides are most often used with horn antennas and dish antenna. So, a, we can say that a waveguide are used in broadcasting and radar installations for the communication purpose. So it's two types, rectangular and cylindrical. It's a metal tube or pipes. So all the electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic field propagate in lengthwise. So it is used horn antenna and dish antenna. An electromagnetic field can propagate along a waveguide in various ways. Electromagnetic field can propagate along a waveguide in various ways. Two common modes are known as transverse magnetic mode and transverse electric mode. In TM mode, the magnetic lines of flux are perpendicular to the axis of the waveguide. We can say that transverse magnetic mode, the magnetic lines of flux are perpendicular to the axis of the waveguide, and in TE mode the electric lines of flux are perpendicular to the axis of the waveguide. Either mode can provide low loss and high efficiency as long as the interior of the waveguide is kept clean and dry. The function properly, a waveguide must have a certain minimum diameter related to the wavelength of the signal. If the waveguide is too narrow or the frequency is too low, the electromagnetic field cannot propagate. If the waveguide is too narrow or frequency is very low, then the electromagnetic field cannot propagate. At any frequency above the cutoff, the lowest frequency at which the waveguide is larger enough, the feed line will work well. Although certain operating characteristics vary depending on the number of wavelengths in the cross sections. So we understand that a waveguide is essentially a hollow conducting tube which acts as a filter for electromagnetic interference but which allows air or fluid to pass. Only electromagnetic interference energy at very high frequency can pass through it with little attenuation. This is called waveguide beyond cutoff, WGBC, waveguide beyond cutoff. This shielding performance of waveguide is governed by the surface geometry of apparatus, the aperture depth, the shape and total number of apertures. European EMC product design and manufacture a wide range of radio frequency shielded waveguide vents, especially for high performance applications. EP waveguides vents are manufactured using steel honeycomb or square matrix, which allow air to pass through but attenuate radiated electromagnetic interference. Our waveguide vents are designed for use in all high performance EMC and tempest applications requiring a robust, lightweight, and low profile vent. Being manufactured from steel, they offer excellent shielding performance in the H field as well as the E field and plane wave modes. When functioning as a transmission line through waveguide are considered simple than two conductors cable, especially coaxial cable in their manufacture and maintenance. With only a single conductor, there are no concern with proper conductor to conductor spacing or of the consistency of the dielectric material, since the only dielectric in a waveguide is air. Moisture is not as serve a problem in waveguide as it is within coaxial cable. Either end, so waveguides are often spared the necessary of gas filling. Waveguide may be thrown off as conducts for electromagnetic energy. The waveguide itself acting as nothing more than a detector of the energy rather than as a signal conductor in the normal sense of the word. In essence, all transmission lines function as conducts of electromagnetic energy when transporting pulse or high frequency waves, directing the waves as the banks of a river direct as tidal wave. What is transverse electric and magnetic wave propagation? All electromagnetic waves consist of electric and magnetic fields propagating in the same direction of travel but perpendicular to each other along the length of normal transmission line. Both electric and magnetic fields are perpendicular to the direction of wave travel. This is known as the principal mode of or TEM mode. This mode of wave propagation can exist only where there are two conductor and it is the dominant mode. So you can say that that's the principal mode or TEM, transverse electric or magnetic mode. This mode of wave propagation can exist only where there are two conductors and it is the dominant mode or wave propagation where the cross section dimensions of the transmission line are small compared to the wavelength of the signal. So the we study about rectangular wave waveguide and group and phase velocity in waveguide. And rectangular waveguides are the one of the earliest types of the transmission line. They are used in many applications. A lot of components such as isolators, detectors, attenuators, couplers and slotted lines are available for various standard waveguides band between 1 GHz to about 220 GHz. A rectangular waveguide supports TM and TE mode but not TEM wave because we discussed earlier that we cannot define a unique voltage since there is only one conductor in a rectangular waveguide. The shape of a rectangular waveguide is as shown below. A material with permittivity E and permeability M fills the inside of the conductor. A rectangular waveguide cannot propagate below some certain frequency. This frequency is called the cutoff frequency. We calculated the reflected wave, incident wave and normal of the wave. We calculate the formula and Vp we calculate last sections with G equals to Vc under root 1 minus lambda upon lambda 0 का whole square. The above equation represent that velocity of propagation or group velocity in a waveguide is lower than in free space. Group velocity decrease as the free space wavelength approach the cutoff wavelength and is zero when the two wavelengths are equal. It's a problem. It is necessary to propagate 10 GHz signal in a waveguide whose wall separation is 6 cm. What is the greatest number of half waves of electric intensity which it will possible to establish between two walls? Calculate the guide wavelength for this mode of operation. A equals to 6 cm, frequency in 10 GHz and wavelength is f upon c 3 cm. So lambda node can be calculated 2a upon m, where m equals to 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then lambda node is calculated by 12 centimeter, m equals to 2, lambda node 6 centimeter, m equals to 3, lambda node 4 centimeter, m equals to 4, lambda node 3 centimeter. So maximum value of m is 4. The rectangular waveform are in rectangular terms. All equations are same for parallel plane waveguide, and rectangular waveguides are same except characteristics impedance TEM0 mode. So impedance is Z node equals to Z upon 1 minus lambda upon lambda node का whole square under root. Z node is characteristics impedance and Z is 120 pi 377 ohms. If lambda equals to lambda node in particular mode, then Z node is infinite. Wave propagation will have infinite resistance. Vg equals to 0. So what is TE modes? The obvious difference between TM mode and those distributed thus for is that magnetic field here is transverse only and the electric field is a component in the direction of propagation. Although most of the behavior of thus modes is same, or for TE modes a number of differences do exist. The first such difference is due to the fact that lines of magnetic field lines are closed loops. Consequently, if magnetic field exists and is charging in x direction, it must also exist in changing in y direction. Since TM0 modes cannot exist in rectangular waveguide, if we want to propagate TM mode, if a wave is propagating in z direction, it may propagate in x direction and y direction. In TEM0 modes, if lambda equals to lambda 0, then z node equals to 0. If potential difference between two sides is 0, there will be no variation of field. All electromagnetic waves consist of electric and magnetic propagating in the same direction of travel but perpendicular to each other along the length of normal transmission lines. Both electric and magnetic fields are perpendicular to the direction of travel. This is known as the principal mode or TEM, transverse electric and magnetic modes. This mode of wave propagation can exist only where there are two conductors, and it is the dominant mode of wave propagation where the cross-section dimensions of the transmission lines are small compared to the wavelength of the signal. So the electric and magnetic are perpendicular to each other. So electromagnetic waves are travels in a hollow tube at microwave signal frequency between 100 megahertz and 300 gigahertz. Two conductor transmission lines of any substantial length operating in standard TEM mode becomes impractical. Lines small enough in cross-sectional dimensions to maintain TEM mode signal propagation for microwave signal tend to have low voltage rating. and suffer from large parasitic power losses due to conductor, skin and dielectric effect. Fortunately, through at these short wavelengths, there exist other mode of propagation that are not as loosey. If a conductive tube is used rather than two parallel conductor, it is at these high frequency that waveguides becomes practical. When an electromagnetic wave propagates down a hollow tube, only one of the field, either electric or magnetic, will actually be transversed to the wave direction of travel. The other field will loop longitudinally to the direction of travel but still be perpendicular to the other field. Whichever field remains transverse to the direction of travel determines whether the wave propagates in TE or TM mode. Signal are typically introduced to and extracted from waveguide by means of small antenna-like coupling devices inserted into the waveguide. Sometimes these coupling elements take the form of a dipole, which is nothing more than two open-ended stub wires of appropriate length. Other times the couplers is a single stub, a half dipole similar in principle to a weave antenna 1 by 4 lambda in physical length, or a short loop of wires terminated on the inside surface of the waveguide. In some cases, such as a class of vacuum tubes which called inductive output tubes, the so-called Klystron tube falls into the category. A cavity formed of conductive material may intercept electromagnetic energy from a modulated beam of electrodes have no contact with the beam itself. Just a transmission line are able to function as resonant element in a circuit, especially when terminated by a short circuit or an open circuit. A dead-ended waveguide may also resonate at particular frequency. When used as such, the device is called cavity resonator. Inductive output tube used triode shape. When used as such, the device is called cavity resonator. Inductive output tubes are triode shaped cavity resonators to maximize the power transfer efficiency between the electrons beam and the output cable. A cavity resonant frequency may be altered by changing its physical dimensions. To this end, cavity with movable plates, screw and other mechanical elements for turning are manufactured to provide Core's resonant frequency adjustment. If a resonant cavity is made open on one end, it functions as a unidirectional antenna. The following photo Waveguides are metal tubes functioning as conducts for carrying electromagnetic waves. They are practical only for signal of extremely high frequency where the signal wavelength approaches the cross-sectional dimensions of the waveguide. Wave propagation through a waveguide may be classified into two broad categories, TE and TM, depending on which field is perpendicular to the direction of wave travel. Wave travel along a standard two-conductor transmission line is of the TEM mode, where both fields are oriented perpendicular to the direction of travel. TEM mode is only possible with two conductors and cannot exist in a waveguide. A dead-ended waveguide serving as a resonant element in a microwave circuit is called a cavity resonator. A cavity resonator, which an open end function as a unidirectional antenna, sending or receiving radio frequency energy to or from the direction of open ended. So it's the rectangular waveguides and working of rectangular waveguides, function of the rectangular waveguides. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Thanks to all